And they also, I mean, not very much there, but there are tutorials that talk about how to locate which direction the wind is falling, and once you start paying attention to it, sneaking up on wolves becomes easier to do. You can't sneak up on them fully, but you can get closer if you are upwind or downwind of them. So, yeah.
I guess it's kind of the the reason that's in there is the same reason there are no, health meters and that kind of stuff. It's just to make it feel very organic and to make it feel like you're actually there and that it's an actual world. Because small things like that, I mean, if you don't think about it, it just might feel that, oh, it's random. He just detected me there and they didn't detect me there. But it's not random. It's actually just the game that's built like that. If you have the wind in your back, he's going to detect you. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's very much, you've captured kind of the spirit of Lugaroo, and we hope to tap into that for Overgrowth as well.
Yeah, awesome to hear, awesome to hear. So next up we have another AI-related tweet by David also, I'm guessing. And it says that he added some line-of-sight checks to the AI script so the characters can't see through walls. And I'm trying to think about what might be needed in order, or if this is all that is needed to make, real fighting levels. Because now the AI can patrol, they cannot see through walls, and they cannot see, what's behind them.
Yes.
And there is Lugaroo, right? I mean, that's a game.
It's close.
Yeah, is there anything that you can think of that's needed in order to, that's missing before we can make a level where you need to sneak up and kill everyone on the level and in order to win?
Well, I mean, the AI still can't traverse, the ground very well. That still seems to be a problem.
Yeah, that's true. And perhaps, I don't know if they can lose sight of you, or if they see you, they can always see you and will follow you forever and stuff like that. But that's still like small stuff, but it's still quite important, I don't know.
True.
This is, anyways, now we're very, very close to having a real game. Now they just need to be, well, after they've added these small things, they need to make it so that we can trigger a game win on a level when something happens, and there you have it.
You don't get a win condition in the real world, so why do you need a win condition in the realistic world of Overgrowth?
Although if you go flying a lot, then you have wind socks that kind of give that away. Hey, I like to fly, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you suggesting would happen instead? We'd just be standing there.
You would just have that amazing sense of achievement. I'm joking. I'm just giving you a hard time. That's one of the things that, unlike health meters, is going to go in.
Sweet. I really like my win conditions,
Wind socks, I don't know though.
Well, but that's what the leaves are for, or the snow, just like in Lugaroo.
Yeah, that would be a subtle cue.
That's what it was in Lugaroo. If you watched the snow would fall in the direction of the wind, and then the trees would or the bushes, every third wind gust would gust in the direction that the wind is blowing, or something like that.
Wow, I'm not sure I actually figured that out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's subtle.
Very subtle. I didn't know about that. I try to stay away from tutorials and stuff like that because it feels kind of like I should be discovering those kinds of things on my own. It feels kind of like cheating if I'm like, using other people's knowledge in order to beat the game.
I suppose.
But yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was a pro, but I think Anton has us beat Silverfish.
It looks like it.
It's age over wisdom. No, wait, that doesn't work.
Hmm.
They're correlated, age and wisdom.
Age and wisdom. Right. I've been playing since I was 25, and you guys are only 25 now.
And I'm 19, so, you know, what do I know?
Exactly, you young little whippersnappers. Get off of my lawn! Alright.
Yeah. You're so old. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
not that old.
I didn't feel that Anton was very old when I tried to do sprints with him during E3 when I was staying with him for the conference, and he just kicked my ass straight up. Could not keep up with the guy.
Well, that was a lucky streak. My legs were sore for a week afterwards.
Lucky sprint.
Pretty much.
Probably took me a month to recover.
You had to go to the hospital and, like, you know, coma and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had to stay inside and play Lugaroo for hours to recover.
There is a question in the chat, John, that maybe you can answer. Is when blood and particles are going to come to Overgrowth?
I don't think people really care about blood, so I think blood is not going to be a big deal. No, I think right now David's focus is on AI, but I'm sure you saw the early the tests David was doing with the splattering against the blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I can't give you an official timeline, but it's definitely a priority, and I would imagine after AI that blood would be pretty high up on the checklist.
Sweet.
Particles are already in the game, right?
Yeah, well, David already did the super meat rabbit, which was kind of bleeding all over everything, and that was emergent from the particle system that he had implemented. So, yeah, to a certain extent, the infrastructure needed for blood-like substances is already there, but integrating it with the gameplay, I guess, would probably go hand in hand with weapons. And you probably saw that David has implemented the basic physics for the weapons in terms of dropping them or doing a flip and releasing a weapon and having it soar through the air with the correct center of mass and all that. But that'll probably go hand in hand. You know, blood will probably go hand in hand with actually implementing weapons into the fighting system. So there's still a lot more to do, but we're getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I really like the procedural approach to everything. Like when the Super Meat Bunny landed on the ground, the decals that it generated it didn't look like they were pre-made. It looked like they actually came from him sliding on the ground, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a lot of people were grossed out, which I think is exactly the maximum effect that could be achieved. There are very few people that said, "Oh, that looks unrealistic. Your effects are bad." It was just like, "That's disgusting," or "That's awesome." I think I've heard David say something before to the effect that he wants people to feel bad about drawing blood. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty special when it happens.
Yeah, it kind of ties in with the pain ragdolls that we saw earlier. They're currently in the game actually.
Yeah.
And I think that when blood is added in and fighting and all that, the pain ragdolls will be very, very powerful for giving the feel of that you actually did something when you kill someone.
And there was a blog post that covered the idea of choice. I think it might have been one of Wilbyfast's posts, but the topic was Splinter Cell, and how this little superficial choice about whether you bop an enemy on the head or slit their throat and kill them when you have them, incapacitated is kind of a big deal to players. So I think that these kinds of effects really embellish that choice and decision-making process that the player has to go through. There's going to be a few styles for getting that win condition at the end of the level, And I think that the players are going to be able to express themselves. You know, do I want to just disable everybody and knock everybody out, or do I want to go and brutally murder everybody on the map? And I think that'll be an interesting choice, embellished by the active ragdolls and the realistic blood and all that stuff.
Yeah, and perhaps it will tie into the gameplay of later levels as well. If you, like for example, if you killed everyone in a dog camp or something, their dog friends will be angry, and if you made them live, they would be happy for you or happy that you didn't do that.
Yeah, it would be cool to have a branching story arc, but branches are tough because you end up with an exponentially growing tree. So I guess one paradigm might be what Blizzard did with StarCraft 2, where you get choices that matter, that affect what units you get to use, but it kind of ties up again on itself in a generally linear fashion. We'll just have to explore that more. But we kind of want the path to force the player through all the things that we think are most fun experiences possible in the engine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree that the way that StarCraft 2 did it was a very, very nice way that you could have, like, your choices affect what units you get, and perhaps the choices could affect, just individual storylines and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see what happens, I suppose. I don't think you don't have that stuff locked down yet, do you? You're still working on all that, right?
Yeah, there's nothing set in stone that I can that I'm able to share at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that turns out, but I'm sure it will be great. I have not been disappointed once so far by you guys, so...
Well, thanks. We're taking it very seriously and going to work real hard on it, so I'm super excited as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think that actually is the end of this show. Do you see any questions in the chat or something else you want to say or anything before we guys?
Sorry, I was answering something in IRC.
Well, I would want to thank you, Silverfish. Should I call you Lucas or Silverfish, first of all? Haven't really figured that one out.
Whatever, whichever fits you best.
I think I should say Lucas. I want to thank you, Lucas, and you, Antone, for having me on the show and doing such a great job with this every week. And I want to thank everybody who's listening and the Wolfire community in general for making this experience even more awesome than we were expecting. So this is really cool, and stay tuned to the Wolfire blog for more updates.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, John, I should say, and thank you,
Yeah,
Antone,
thanks, John.
For being on, of course. It's very much appreciated. We will very much appreciate what you do as well, of course.
Someday.
So, I mean, if you didn't do what you were doing, we wouldn't be here, so thanks, man. It's awesome. And I hope we can have you on in the future as well at some point, John.
Yeah, let me know. I don't want everybody to get sick of me, but maybe in a few more weeks could do a follow-up, or I can try to heckle one of the other guys on the team to stop by too.
That would be sweet. So yeah, that kind of wraps up the show right there. Check it out, go to Justin.tv and follow me, Justin.tv/OGWeekly, YouTube.com/OGWeekly, SteamCommunity.com/groups/SFTUT, and what else? Twitter.com/OGWeekly as well. And I think that's all. Check those out in any of the places you want to and that you're interested in. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Bye bye.
Thanks, see you guys.
All right, thanks. Bye.